Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. I'm just going to mainly focus on Bitcoin, not going to look at any specific altcoins, just going to look at the overview. I mean, some are moving and some are not. And actually, to be honest, I would say that that's a sign in itself of a reasonably healthy market. When people are talking about bear markets, I think at the moment it's way too early to entertain the idea of a bear market, and I'm against it. I mean, I literally don't think that there is a bear market in play. I think we're bearish, but I also think that we're pretty close to the bottom. There's a few things to suggest that that's the case, and it's all based on the Bitcoin chart. But some altcoins could end up getting a bit of a thrashing if Bitcoin moves up or if it moves down, and I'll show you the reasons why in a moment. But first, let's just talk about the Bitcoin chart, and like I say, I'll make it as quick as possible. Weekend price action is usually a little bit sketchy anyway, so we'll just look at the overview and move into next week and more likely January for some significant ups. So, as you can see, it's classic downtrend with the dump, that massive dump that we saw, that we anticipated. But looking for a specific bottom area, we've been talking about this area being a giant accumulation zone. Worst case scenario, we come down to about 40,500, but ideally we remain above 46,500, which is where the majority of these wicks, I'll say candle bodies and wicks have more or less rested. We had a bit of a time below there yesterday and actually closed around 46,000. About 46,100 or thereabouts. Moved back in again to this area. Now, this looks like it wants to move further down, right, in the short term, and that would be actually okay, provided we get a decent read on this RSI. We can see that we're getting decent now on the daily, and the daily is usually good for a powerful move. The bullish divergence on the RSI, and there's a few things to look at on this RSI. So first of all, we've got your uptrend there, which is higher lows. We've got lower highs form down here, so I'm just, without having to make it too messy, you can see what I'm talking about. So we've got classic bullish divergence. We're very close as well on the MACD to having a slight turn up going positive, and again, this is it's obviously one of those indicators that people like to look at and go, oh my god, we've made a positive cross. Yeah, deep within negative territory, but it's still been diverging this entire time. This is often the clue. So yeah, you can play the crosses themselves, and they do work out a lot of the time. But the divergences is where you really start to get excited. And so we've got divergence on the RSI, divergence on the on the MACD, and also divergence on the money flow index. So it does look like the bottom is forming. If not, this was the absolute low, and if we do make another stab down, provided we still have the bullish divergence on this RSI, then that likely would be the absolute bottom, right? Might not be the case, especially through the weekend, but it is likely that would be the absolute bottom. Now, also, we can look at the RSI and we see from not just this peak specifically, I'd suppose, but we can measure it. We'll measure it from this peak because this is where the absolute peak was. We've got a bit of an RSI breakout as well forming, and we're relatively low on the RSI. So this has got and would suggest plenty of room to run if it wanted to, including the way that the money flow index is snaking up as well. So it does look like a bottom is forming. As far as candle body is concerned. As far as wicks are concerned, I think this could actually be it, to be honest with you. I think this probably was the low, and now it looks like we want to turn up. Now, at the end of the year, which is what we're at now, Christmas holidays have begun. I suppose professional traders are taking their profits. And a lot of people are just taking time off, do you know what I mean? And why not? Do you know what I mean? Why not? There's been a lot of profits been made this year, so there's probably going to be a lot less trading take place between now and the start of next year. That could offer some more irrational behaviour take place, as I suppose the armchair traders, pajama traders, control the market to an extent, and from what I can see, a lot of those armchair traders on Twitter, anyway, the smaller retail ones, they seem to still be quite bearish. I get it on my YouTube, and it's often a decent indicator as well. That, just reading through the comments, going, "You're wrong. We're in a bear market. You're wrong. It's over. You're an idiot." And I'm like, oh my god. So I mean, that seems to be a common occurrence across the board for what people are thinking at the moment. So maybe, just maybe, the retailers, as ever, get wrecked. The giant wealth transfer that Bitcoin promises to be is, at the moment, well, or at least for the last year, definitely being transferred out of the retailer's pocket into the big boy's pocket, right? So it does look like, to me, a classic setup for a bottom to form. And I don't mean a bottom with a giant move up, but if we measured this this consolidation, we measure that. We did this, I think, on the live stream. So we measure that to the drop here, where the absolute low was formed, and we think about this as far as time is concerned, right? So that was the time it took for the low wick to form. This might be the time it takes for the uptrend to begin, and that would be the end of the month, just coming into next month. So I am looking for this to resolve sooner rather than later, but don't be fooled into me into thinking that I'm saying that this is just going to go way because I've put a clickbait title on and you've read it. Look, the title represents what I think, which is that this is just a low getting put in, and we will resolve this pretty soon, a week or two, this will be resolved to the up. But it doesn't mean that today or tomorrow or Monday we make that next stab down, completing or at least contributing to the bullish divergence forming here, and here. So it all looks pretty good, to be honest with you, for Bitcoin. And for those who are held on, I don't think you'll have to hold on for a great deal longer to be rewarded. Altcoins, however, like I say at the beginning of the video, I said that some are moving, some are not. I'm in some that are moving up today, which is nice. My old friend YFII and Uno had a little. Well, I say a little. He did a 40% move up. There's a few of the altcoins that I'm in are doing quite well, and then there's some of them which are just not doing very well. Just not doing very well at all, and we're just waiting for the market overall to pick up. But if we think about the nature of the Bitcoin dominance chart and how we often think about trading this on a weekly, we can see that it's the 40% dominant, which generally has always had a good reaction, whether it's in a dump or a pump, right? So we could push down onto this one in the next leg down as altcoins come down, usually emphasizing Bitcoin's move, even if it's just for a small piece, so that would cause a move up, and that could happen as soon as we receive a read of 40% dominance. So altcoins might have a run throughout the weekend. Ethereum's strong, to be honest with you, versus Bitcoin, so that wouldn't surprise me. And then we get one of those moves, destroying a lot of altcoins and then continuing with the bearish momentum, which is down. It's often the case, and it should always be mentioned, that the more times you touch a support, the more likely it is to break. Same as the more times you touch a resistance, the more likely it is to break. So we're touching this over and over and over again now. And the ultimate alt season, well, that's where the ultimate one has already happened last year. This is where the fun really began. And at the moment, it's I suppose it's like flogging a dead horse, isn't it? Trying to trade altcoins. I mean, it's very difficult at the moment, at least since the Megatron virus came out. It made things especially difficult because you can't trade an altcoin on its own without looking at Bitcoin and then having to go back again and look at traditional markets, Nasdaq, Dixie, all those sort of things, and then keep your ear to the ground for the next big sort of, I suppose, problem. Whether it's tapering, Megatron, or whatever. But a lot of those things are getting cleared up, I would say. There's still a lot of uncertainty in the market, but generally I think the charts can be traded a bit better now than they would have been able to be traded a couple of weeks ago. And so if that is the case, I'd expect a reaction from here like we always get, but then a continuation down and then a breakdown. So the next alt, I'll be hesitant to call it an alt season, but significant alt rallies will take place when we finally do break below 40% dominant on a candle body closure on a daily, but preferably a weekly. We'll have a decent continuation, only down to about 36, 37. That might not sound much, but we used to be able to trade all of this. It was a very profitable way of trading Bitcoin to altcoins, and the market until this area here was basically always $500 billion. Now we're talking about several trillion. So smaller moves on the dominance chart mean bigger moves, especially for the smaller cap coins with the good setups. And we've entered a few of those recently. So we got RLY, we've got Go, obviously all the shit coins that we liked, OMI, VRA, Bepro, all these shit coins like that. They are the ones that are likely going to benefit in the breakdown from here, because they are still relatively small market cap. They will move quite hard. If we talk about general altcoins, then you're going to get some decent performance, but we're talking about small market cap coins moving the most with the smallest amount of breakdown on the Bitcoin dominance chart. So overall, I'm very bullish. I've always said this. I've been saying it the entire time. Even when just before we broke down here, I said, look, this is going to be it. This zone is going to be it. Be prepared for further downside, but this is going to be it. We're not in a bear market, so there's no reason to think that this is a bear market. We anticipated that big dump down. We know why these things are happening. They're not directly attributed to the Bitcoin price, so we shouldn't really think about this in the form of a bubble pop, because it's not. It's really not. It's people taking off risk. It's people selling because they see it as a store of value. They want to realize that value. And general trading in general. You know, the American market is still the biggest market. It controls the market to a large extent. And their financial year ends in December, not like our silly one over in the UK, which is for some reason in April. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know why. Makes no sense. I'm sure there's a reason for it. But in America, it's the end of the year, which makes perfect sense. But not for us over in the UK. We like to do things differently. So that's it. That is the deal. Bearish divergence on all things forming. It looks pretty good to me. We'll be prepared for the next leg down. Opening up some more trades in the week. I'll leave the weekend to do its thing. But next week is likely to be the week where we do find the absolute low, and that's where I'll be looking for some significant and some serious trades, not just on Bitcoin but on altcoins in general. So overall, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year for those in the crypto community. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.